Saludos a toda la troupe. Aquí os dejamos el directo que acaba de hacer Rothfuss hoy jueves 18 de mayo de 2023, donde anuncia un nuevo libro. Estamos con todo el hype y hemos decidido dejároslo en nuestro canal, en la UD del RU, para que podáis disfrutar de él. Está en inglés, podéis activar los subtítulos automáticos. Y bueno, ver las novedades. Aparte de esto, hemos hecho un pequeño vídeo comentando los detalles que ha dejado en su blog personal a raíz de este anuncio, de esta publicación para finales de año.
Y como dice Rothfuss, que irá subiendo cosas también de artbook, de imágenes, también información y todas las cosas, que igualmente que la subiremos en el momento nosotros, que como ahora acabamos de subir el vídeo cuando ha hecho el directo hace 2 horas, y a la mínima que podamos informaros de cualquier cosa, pues aquí estaremos. Así que seguidnos tanto en Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, donde sea, lo subiremos para que podáis tenerlo de primera mano. Y iremos también traduciendo lo que va diciendo, porque hay mucha gente como yo que no sabe inglés y aquí Cronista os lo traduce muy bien. Así que podéis seguirnos y ir comentando las cosas.
Muy bien. Abajo en la descripción os dejamos el enlace del directo que hemos hecho comentando el blog. Un saludo a todos.
Adiós.
I'm gonna push a button. I'm gonna push this button and then this button. Holy shit. Everybody, is this working? Are we doing it? I think we're doing it. Oh, and well, it looks like we've already got 1,000 people tuned in. Welcome, everyone. I'm pleasantly surprised with the quick 10 minutes heads up. We were hoping to do this today. And then we weren't sure if we could because there's a lot of stuff on the back end. And see now I'm filled with the weird desire to make like a joke and say, I guess you're wondering why I asked you here today, or something like that, or like say, hey, I want to talk to you about Amway, which is a joke that nobody would get. Does Amway even exist? To joke that like I'm here to sell you Tupperware. But the truth is, I've got a book coming out. That's why this feels weird. It's been a while since I got to say that to everybody. I'm excited about it. And you know what? Because I've known a lot of you for a while in kind of a largely pleasant but mostly parasocial way, I'll be honest. If you watch my streams, if you're on here normally, then you know that I haven't been streaming in a while. You know that I haven't been posting on the blog in a while. And part of that is, well, there's a bunch of reasons. And part of it is that I've been putting my energy and my attention elsewhere. And one of the places I've been putting it is in getting something that I can put on a bookshelf for you people to enjoy. So, oh boy, there's all these. I haven't streamed, it feels like, in a year. Sarah, it's nice to see you too. There's a bunch of new chatters. It's so weird to me that there's a lot of you that have been watching me on the stream for, I don't know, 8 years-ish. And there's others of you that have been reading my blog for like 13, 14, 15 years. But I'll be straight up with you. part of the reason I've sort of backed away from a lot of the social media is, well, for one, Twitter is increasingly a cesspit. But also, it's my general dearth of spoons has led to the fact that it's increasingly hard for me to ignore some of the negativity online, because anytime I say anything, I'm like, here's a cute picture of my kid wearing a hat. And then there's the howling of 1,000 screeched cats saying something that people are angry about. And additionally, there's a bunch of really cool, lovely people. But, you know, human nature, our brains are weird, and mine is probably weirder than most. So I'm sorry for forgetting how lovely the vast majority of you are. So yeah, how about this? I wrote a blog also, and I just pushed the button a second ago. And, there's all these names that I remember. And there's Julia. Hey, Julia, we haven't talked in an age. Anyway, thanks everybody for tuning in. Jesus Christ, now we're at 2,500 people on here. So I should probably get to it, shouldn't I? Matt, you nailed it. Like 9 compliments and 1 insult, and you'll remember the insult. The example I always give is like, if you go out and you have a good smoothie and you see a squirrel, and then like you listen to a song you like, and then somebody kicks you in the nuts. If you go home and somebody says, how was your day? You're probably not going to say, I saw a cool squirrel. But yeah, this is, it's going to be a novella. It's going to be similar to, where is it? Jesus, everything is in disarray. See, every time I clean my desk, I move things off of it and then I regret it. Apparently I don't have a copy of Slow Regard here close at hand. Anyway, how about this? Let's do a poll. No, I was going to just type poll. Do I remember how to do anything? Poll. No. Poll. Oh, poll. We're going to do this as the quickest of all polls. 1 minute. Okay, 2 minutes. Bang. So this is just to sort of see, like, of the 2,500 people that show up here and now, how many of y'all first off, we'll do a poll. And how many of y'all have read Slow Regard? And of course, reading, audiobook also counts, video book also counts, all of that. It was your first one you read from me? Wow, what a place to start, man. Yeah, somebody's like, I'm the first time chatter. I'm reading it right now for the first time. I wrote Slow Regard all the while knowing it's like, this is a crazy book that a crazy person writes and no one will ever read it. And certainly no one will publish it, but I had to get it out of my system. And, I did do the audiobook. That was a wild, terrifying thing that turned out pretty good. But feel free to vote. See, this is really useful for me to see some of these rough numbers. Who has read The Slow Regard of Silent Things? Right now, it's about 73% people, yes. At 18% no. Please vote in this if you can vote in it, because I'm, and I don't care. I'm not going to be sad if you haven't. I want that delicious data. So, I mean, for those of you that don't know, see, I told my children to go play outside, and because of that, I can't make them go run and fetch things for me. Oh, it's over there. No. So, okay. So like almost 30% of you haven't read it, and about 10% of you, and that's the ones who like care enough to vote in a poll, haven't even heard of Slow Regard. So if you didn't know, like I wrote a novella about Ari. So that exists. In Spanish books, in Spanish, in all over the rest of the world, because it's impossible to translate the slow regard of silent things. They call it, in German, it's the music. It's the music of silence, you know? Yeah, la musica de silencio. So now I am. Somebody who guessed where I was going. Unlikely Maths is Johnny on the spot. There is a blog there. Thank you for that. Now I'm going to do a poll. Wow, okay. I will admit I'm all right, nah. Watch me misspell things. Okay, there's that. And here we're going to mirror this. This one I'm going to give one more minute because votes were still pouring in and people were like, how do I poll? Hey there, all y'all new time chatters. So here's the new poll. As in terms of how to do it on your if you're on a computer, it's pretty easy. If you're on your phone, man, I don't know. I'll trust you to figure that out if you can. I don't do things on my phone because I'm old and I'm about to crumble into dust. Oh yes. Okay. I'm loving these numbers, everyone. But get in here and vote. Get in here and vote honestly. And the question is, like, oh, you're on Xbox. There's some all caps love here, which kind of actually warmed my heart. I love you and your book, and you're my favorite author in the world. That's, so if you've read it, Lightning Tree was originally published almost 10 years ago as part of an anthology in Rogues. It was an anthology that was done by George Martin and Gardner Dozois. And actually, I originally was writing the Ari story in order to, because I'm like, everyone else is going to do like a swashbuckler or a sneaky person or a thief or a cat burglar. And I'm like, I could paint Ari as kind of an interesting trickster, roguish character. And I started writing it and I'm like, this is weird and not appropriate and too long and nobody's going to want it. And But there's a new poll. You who missed the poll, there's a poll right now. Have you read The Lightning Tree? It's right up there. And please give me this delicious data. Wow, there's like 3,000 people watching. So please hit on this poll. Don't hit on a poll. Hit this poll. That's aggressive. Vote in this poll by clicking in the appropriate way, depending on where you are. What does data taste like? Mostly good. All data is sort of nutritious. Although, I don't know where to go with that. So this is fascinating. This means of everyone here that can actually vote, only a third of you have read The Lightning Tree, and a quarter of you never heard of it even. But definitely 2/3 haven't done it. That makes me feel way better because I wrote it, and they wanted a short story, and I kind of wrote this big thing. So, and in foreign countries, a lot of times the Rogues anthology didn't get published. So anyway, I'm like, how about I get my shit together and write a thing. This is me thinking to myself. How about I write a thing and I get back into like putting out books. And then I'm like, I really liked the Bast story, and it was way too long for a short story. And I went back and I looked at it, and I'm like, I could tweak this up. I could kind of improve it because I wrote it kind of fast. And I'm like, maybe if I got Nate to illustrate it the way that we did for Slow Regard, and I read an author's note, and I kind of spruce it up and, add some detail, maybe it'll be worth doing as a standalone novella like Slow Regard. And so I took a look at it and I bounced the idea off the publisher, and they're like, we think that sounds great. And I'm like, cool. It's only like 20,000 words. Is that okay? And they're like, that's fine. It's a novella. That's how long a novella is. And I'm like, cool, because it's not going to get much longer. And they're like, don't worry, it's cool. And so I'm thinking, great, I get to publish this. It's already written. This will be easy. It'll be a way for me to get back into it. I'll do some art direction with Nate. And then I'll go on and I'll be back in it, and I'll be doing more writing, and I'm back in the game, right? And so like 6 months later, I've rewritten half of the original story and added 15,000 words on top of it. So now it's like 35,000 words long, and I've done like 30 illustrations with Nate. Before the story, I'm like, I'm proud of this story. It's a good story. I did a story. And now I'm like, now this is good. Like, I don't know if I love it quite as much as I love Slow Regard, but I am as proud of it as I am of Slow Regard. So, but honestly, I've been kind of feeling weird about it because I'm like, it's a novella, but it's kind of already out, except it's not, because the whole story is different. It's all changed. So much more different stuff in there. But I knew in my heart that a lot of people have never heard of The Lightning Tree, or found it, or read it, or even could access it, depending on what country they're in. And now this poll really confirmed it. So like only a third of you read that old version even. So that's what I'm doing. Let me hop over here. So here's the thing. Somebody said, I'm trying to trying to find rogues. Will the lightning tree still be canon? Yes. Yes-ish. That's okay. The poll is closed right now. But what's canon, what's not canon? We'll have a discussion of canon another day. Okay. Oh, we got a librarian in the chat, everybody. And they're already a VIP, as it should be. So give me a second. How do I remember if I go to Chrome here and then I come here and then Rothfuss blog bloop. And here we are. And then if I come here to my Chrome browser, if I turn that on, can you, hey, hi OBS. It's been a while. How do you feel about, could you look at Chrome? Yay. Thank you, OBS. See, everybody, politeness. It's just like I tell my boys. Oh, the aspect ratio. Very bad. Hey, computer, you made, it feels like, hey, computer, it feels to me like you're promoting an unhealthy body image in fairies. Could you not? How do I? Oh boy, we do not want to spend a lot of time fixing this. What if I just click a bunch of buttons and screw it up worse? What if I stretch it out? Does that work? Nope. What if I click on this? There we go. Oh, better. And we'll bring it back into the middle, kinda. You know what? We're going to call that good. So here is the blog that I wrote. There should be a link that you can find. Here is a sexy Bast. Just let's get him right out there in front. Also, spoiler alert in this card. If you're watching this stream, you gotta, please, I hope this isn't a spoiler for anyone. If you know anything about Bast, this shouldn't surprise you. This is art by the fabulous Nate Taylor that we did for the Pairs decks from way back in the day. It's a game we did with James Ernest. And it's part of the reason that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll get Nate to illustrate this. Let's show off some sexy man Bast. And so here's the blog. And I talk about it, how, a bunch of different things. I'm like, oh, cool. I don't have that much news to share. It'll be a short blog post. It's only about 1,500 words. But then also, oh, wait, I know how to do. No, we'll leave it here. So this isn't the real book cover because I get to announce it first. But look at this. Here's some Bast. Oh, and I lied. If I click on this, it doesn't embiggen. Oh, well, you can come to grips with that on your own. You can tell maybe I was banging this blog together a little fast. My formatting isn't the best. But yeah, there's details. Here you can see some of the sketches that Nate and I worked on because I am obsessive and he is an angel in human form and he puts up with my bullshit. And so I get to show off more of the world. The thing is, I don't want to get hung up on like, well, hold on. If you've revised the lightning tree, is this lightning tree 2? We're calling this one The Narrow Road Between Desires, partly because, if you publish, this is really a whole different story. It's about twice as long. It's totally rewritten. It's illustrated. But if we give it the same title, people who read The Lightning Tree back in the day will be like, oh yeah, I did that, and maybe just ignore it. or bookstores will be like, what? No, and they get confused. So there's a new title, The Narrow Road Between Desires, and there's this, and there's pictures and words in it. Right now, my marketing and PR people are watching this, and they're like, he is so bad at selling his stuff. So what does this have to offer? What makes this a good novella? It is, I mean, there are the pictures, the paper, like when the end times come, you can use it for kindling. Really, I mean, we really tested the paper for that. I've used all sorts of words. Like when I say that it's like double the word count, I didn't just put 2 of each word in. There's many different words, like a variety of words. Book science. I've put it all on pages. I think I mentioned the pages already. The pages are very soft. So if you like it, you can keep it. And if you don't like it, the pages are very soft. Again, for the end times, or just if you want to do like social commentary, it's the soft pages. We're looking into making the entire book smell like Bast, which I imagine is a little like cinnamon and Xbox, and a lit like plus sexy plus musky, like kind of a badger, but a sexy badger. Boy, I'm doing a bad job of selling that too. How could I, of all the things I've fucked up selling sexy Bast? Hey, everybody who's shown up for the first time, this is me, this is the real me. Oh no, and Julia now is offering to draw a sexy badger Bast. I'm not saying no, Julia. And I'm also kind of afraid, like my marketing people have started to drink. And they're also, or I don't know what's worse, the fact that they're sad and crying and drinking, or that maybe they're taking furious notes and it's like smell-o-vision, ! Sexy man badger, pop-up book. Oh, that could go real wrong with the book with sexy Bast in it. And it's just, here's the news, everybody. We will have more news later. We'll have a cover to show off. I'll show off more of the interior art. This is just because they gave me the chance to break the news, because I've always said, hey, when a new thing comes out, I will tell you. It will be on the blog. I will tell you first. And anything else you hear about a publication date for anything is total bullshit, unless I've announced it and confirmed it and it's on the blog. So that's what it is. If you want to get in on the news coming up, like future news, I'll be putting stuff on my blog. I'll be talking about stuff here. I'll probably do a chat with Nate after he's done with his art and after I'm done helping him get the art done, because we have a deadline. So if you want to get that news, you can follow the channel. We don't offer subscriptions here on the Twitch channel, because I want everyone to feel welcome. And so it's just follow, and everybody's kind of the same here. Please be polite and listen to the mods. Where is this taking place in the timeline? That's a good question. You changed my life in the best way. I mean, that's a greeting card. Birchwood. Okay, so now here's the thing. I promised I would make this a short announcement for my marketing team. Also, this is my boy's final week of like important schoolwork stuff. A week of schoolwork stuff. You see, I've took all my best words, everyone, and I put them into this novella. And so now all I have is awkward, stupid words. So let me say, like I was going to say, I got to help my boy, my little boy, my sweet boy, finish up his science project, his independent study science project. I got to go be a dad. I'm just excited to make the announcement. I'm excited to share more news later. I will happily, you guys also, I really appreciate you because you've helped me remember that this can be fun. It's easy for me to remember when it's not fun. It's easy for me to sort of fool myself into thinking that you don't like me. Like you as a group and you all individually. It's a problem I have. So thanks for making this a pleasant experience. But I will be doing like maybe a more formal novella Q&A later. Oh, you missed me. Honestly, I'm remembering I miss this too. I don't miss the ones that I feel bad about, but I forget I always have a good time when I'm here with y'all. This has been surprisingly nice for me. So, but yeah. So we'll do a Q&A. I'll share more art. There's news and whatever. Check out the blog. There are more details there because I wrote that up and with good words and thinkings. Also, if you want to get a heads up if we do like formal promotional something weird or cool, we have a little mailing list that'll just be maybe 2 or 3 messages specifically about cool things about this book. Link to the Google Forms on the blog. If you want to know how to find a local independent bookstore by you, there's a link to that on the blog. If you run a bookstore and you want to be part of any promo stuff we're doing, there's a link for you on the blog too. So tell your friends if you think that they'll be interested. It should be in the system now so that you can pre-order it wherever you want to. So doing that certainly makes my PR people happy and my editor happy and my publisher happy. And I'd love to make them happy because they really went out of their way to sort of to let me do this announcement first. So I would love for them to see some good pre-orders hit. It will be on Audible. I don't know if it's propagated into the Audible system yet. I'm tempted to look right now because I do most of my stuff on Audible. So, this novella will be translated into as many places as we can manage, right? So, there is a lot. Where's the link to the blog? Can somebody, yep. You can also just Google Rothfuss blog. There's not a lot of Rothfuss blogs out there. There's so many good questions. It's so hard for me to not want to answer them all because I've missed you and it's fun. And I love answering questions because I'm a pedant at heart. Will the copies purchased from World Builders be signed? Yeah. Yes. Period. Yes, they will. Unless you want one that's not signed, we'll offer that option too. So yeah.